What's up, fam? Hey, once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, and when you subscribe, hit that notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be notified. Today, I want to talk about a do for nothing story I saw. I actually saw it on the Black Information Network, but it's also on the NPR network, Forbes.com, and many other, news outlets. And the title is 11 U.S. Mayors Pledge to Develop a Reparations Project. Now I'm just going to hit a few notes here. First, it says publicly it would create a committee to developing reparations project in their respective cities. Now it says like 11 cities from LA all the way down to Tallahassee, Oklahoma are involved in this. They say, but the group has not created or shown a timeline or a financial plan for this great idea they came up with. They said that the committee was going to put together a local advisory committee comprised of representatives of Black-led organizations. I wonder if they're going to use Black Lives Matter as one of the Black-led organizations, or the NAACP, which for the first time in forever has I think a Black president. Amazing. But anyway, this program is to quote, serve as a high-profile demonstration for how the country can quickly move from conversation to action on reparations for Black Americans. End quote. But these same mayors said they don't intend on paying back reparations themselves. As a matter of fact, Eric Garcetti, the mayor of LA, said, quote, let me be clear. Cities will never have the funds to pay for reparations on our own. So anyway, what they're saying they're going to do, I guess, is I'm going to show you how to go out here, get a group of people together, show you how to build a garden, show you how to get the tools together, how to get everything you need, the soil, the seeds. But we're not going to be the ones to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it. Show you how to get the group together done, how you can talk, how quickly you can talk about it, create a plan to get this garden together. But then now it's time for you to go out there and actually do the work, but we all going to, reap the benefits. Like, man, this is like a freaking dog, what they call it, a dog and pony show. This is like what they call it, a nothing burger, an empty burger. It's like, because it ain't nothing is going to come about this. Like, what is the purpose of getting out here talking? I don't get it. I say, you're going to show the federal government how to get a committee together to create a policy, but there's no tangibles being given, so you're just running your mouth like the government been doing. Now let's remember, back in April, the House committee finally, after years and years, after decades, finally approved a bill to study reparations for the first time. You got to study reparations because you got to study the slavery, you got to study the people that were slaves, and you got to see. The problem is, and what it always is going to be the money, but we're going to get into that just a second. But Representative Steve Chabot of Ohio, and we know how racist Ohio is, said that no one should have to pay for something they didn't do. Well, Rep, let me tell you this. I agree with you. But the problem is, we're paying for stuff that we had no control over. We had no control over your people having about a 400-year head start and still not trying to pass the baton back so someone can catch up. We had nothing to do with that. We're still paying for that. I should not have to pay for laws that's going out and racially profiling people just by the color of their skin because of some belief that my people commit more crimes than anybody, but yet the problem ain't that we commit more crimes. The problem is that you look at us more. And we look at it, probably everybody could commit crimes wherever they're at, any race of people, any ethnicity of people. It's going to happen. But also, studies show that say 70% of Americans oppose them. Mostly white Americans oppose paying reparations to American descendants of slaves or foundation of Black Americans or the Aboriginal people of this country. You choose your title that you would like to use. So then it comes to a point where I had to say, hey, has America ever paid reparations back to anyone? And the answer is yes. And I have the stats to prove it. The first one, during World War II, the U.S. military occupied the island of Kishka and Attu, which was right around Alaska. They reported 881 Alouettes deported, 881 Alouettes to a camp in Alaska. Now, this is World War II, so we're talking, 30s, 40s, something around about that time. But in 1988, 450 living survivors were awarded $12,000 each. And then in 1995, they received more compensation. So you're talking almost 1,000 people getting $12,000. What's that? That's like in the millions, right? Okay. So we know they can pay that. Then also, America has also paid $10 million to victims of forced sterilization in North Carolina and Virginia. This is known as the eugenics movement. It's a great documentary out there called, I think it's called My Aunt 21. Came out some years back. YouTube, look it up. It'll tell you all about the Margaret Sanger and the eugenics movement. You might even see something about Bill Gates' grandfather in there, if you look close enough. All right. So then also, another time they paid reparations was to survivors of the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in Negro males. This study started in 1930. This study lasted over 40 years. It involved 600 brothers out there in Tuskegee, Alabama. But I think about at least 60% of them were given syphilis and not treated. Again, a 40-year study. What did they receive? $10 million in reparations. $10 million for a 40-year study of being injected with a disease that pretty much just destroyed your whole livelihood, suffering your whole life. And all you get is $10 million amongst everybody. So I mean, out of the people the people that survive, they got $10 million. That's it. And this was given to the survivors, the widows, and the offspring. $10 million. That is all. But then they got free lifetime medical care was given in 1995. Now this damn study was in 1932. 1995. What's that? 63 years. Majority of these men are dead by that time. But the wives probably dead too. Offspring, don't tell them how old they are, but they ain't far from it. Not in 1995, so they're probably dead now themselves. But this is the reparation you give Aboriginal people. In Rosewood, you know, if you've seen the movie Rosewood, you heard about the Rosewood Massacre. That happened in 1923. But America gave $2.1 million to the survivors in 1994. That's damn near 80 years. No. Take it back. That's damn near 60 years since this happened. Wow. So then 60, 70 years ago, well, before they gave, you know, this happened over almost 70 years before, and then 70 years later, you give $2.1 million to survivors. It's probably one survivor left. Who knows, you know? But hey, and we can't forget about they paid Native Americans and Holocaust survivors when we were the allies of the Jewish people in Israel. So, my point is this. Oh man, this study here is it's something worthless. It's symbolism, just like Juneteenth holiday. Just symbolism, something where everybody can sit here and say, "Hey, it's a step." But it's always, you know, it's a first step. But the problem is, it's always the first step. But you realize that everything the government does for Aboriginal people is always a first step. There's never a second step. There's never a third step. There's never a final step. It's always a first step. Because they're not really trying to come off that bread. You know, there was a study that was shown that somebody believed that if they actually gave reparations to, you know, descendants of slaves or financial Black Americans, that'd be well over $13 trillion that you would have to give in monetary value to our people for reparations. They're not gonna do that. But let them tell you they don't have the money. But every time you look up, somebody is passing out stimulus checks just for the hell of it. No rhyme or reason to it. I mean, you know, they blame the virus, the pandemic, people being out of work, so they give them stimulus checks. Although the dollar ain't really worth a whole lot as it is, now you're just still making money. So my question is, where are you getting all this money from? You know? Where's Biden getting all this cash? Because let them tell America don't have any money. But you're still giving money, taking money overseas as we speak. The countries that we done destroyed during times of war. But anyway, like I say, this whole 11 city committee talking about we're going to show the government how to come together and create this panel so we can show you how to pay. We're going to show you how to pay reparations, but we don't know how you're going to do it because, you know, it ain't our money it's going to do. It's going to be your money. We're going to show you what you need to do to make sure it's done. Man, that's bull corn. That's bull. It really is, man. And, you know, I'm just saying, so I come with solutions, right? So what's my solutions? Well, just say the hell with it. Don't even entertain this. You know, just look at it and be like, whatever. And what we do it for ourselves. We build a community for ourselves. Understand, the power is in numbers. Not really, you know, it starts with the numbers in your checkbook, but it definitely starts with the number of people you have sticking together. Stick together. You get those that want to build, that want to create our own little cities. I'm gonna tell you like this, what I believe, and you can leave a comment if you disagree. What I feel is, if we start building our own stuff, and let me tell you why I believe this, but let's say if we start building our own stuff, they're going to come offering, as they say, you know, Christmas story, tithings of good joy. Because they're going to see we doing something and we together. And they're going to either want to join the bandwagon or they're going to want to burn the wagon up. But either way, we got to be smart about it. You know, we really got to be smart about it and realize that we really don't need nobody from the outside coming in to help hurt, destroy, dismantle, or what have you. Got to stick together. Got to do it our own, just like everybody else do. All other groups do. You know. But the reason why I say that's what they do, because that's what they always did. When they come and destroy all the little towns that we had, the Rosewood, the Greenwood Arch and Pine area, Little River County. You just name, all these times they came in and destroyed our black towns. And understand this too, y'all. For anybody who thinks Tulsa and Rosewood were the only prosperous towns, black towns that we had, you sadly mistaken, man. You gotta look at this with your third eye, like for real, because when somebody put you somewhere and you have to be self-sufficient as a town to be deemed a town, let's say like this. You gotta have infrastructure. You gotta start from the ground, you build your own stuff, but most of these towns had their own post office. Most of these towns had their own doctor's offices, little hospitals, hotels. Why? Because they couldn't go into the white neighborhoods. They couldn't go to the white part of town. You can go there to work, but you couldn't shop there. You couldn't live there. If you wanted something, you go around back. So when you come to your senses that people are treating you like crap, or don't want you around, you don't hang around people that don't want you around. So what do? You build your own. So our towns had all this: post office, restaurants, schools, churches. Most of them was built around the church. Just like Langston University, that was great. They got they got government funding. But what the government told them to do is, y'all got to come up with so much money. And you come up with so much money, we'll give you government funding. And this town, I believe through the church, read the book, Acres of Aspiration. And they had bake sales, raffles, they had just all kind of things where they raised the money, and within a year they had enough money to build Langston University. Bullcorn, you're not. And they didn't have nearly the stuff that we have nowadays, like cell phones or access to the internet, fast moving cars, emails. That's what you call grassroots, because they got it, what they say, out the mud, like for real, which is by word of mouth, working with each other, hand in hand. When you got enough people, they're going toward a common goal, anything can happen. So that's my solution. Come together, make it happen ourselves. When you start making it happen yourselves, everybody want to come and help. And then you can decide if you need their help or not. Don't let them dictate it, because they dictate it, they're going to tell you. They're going to give you help, but then they're going to tell you where the help can go. You got your own infrastructure, you got your own money, you got your own committees, you're doing your own thing. When somebody want to come and join, you can say yay or nay. Period. But with that said, I'm going to get out of here. Like I say, thank y'all for watching. Again, like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell. If you got any suggestions of any stories you want me to do, go in that description box, hit the email address, and also click on the link for merchandise. And also, if you got a YouTube channel or want to start a YouTube channel, click on the link below. Join that too, buddy. It'll make creating your channel and these videos a whole lot easier. And until next time, peace.